Okay, resetters, Dr. Mindy here, and I am with you for my Thursday live Q&A. So if you are brand new to my channel, I come to you Thursday and answer your fasting questions. We always put a announcement about the time that I go on our community page, and if you have questions, put your question underneath that announcement and I'll make sure that I answer them first. Now, today's extra special because this is Fast Training Week. So hopefully you guys have been doing Fast Training Week with us. This is a brand new experience that we're having with Fast Training Week because I used to do more of my videos during Fast Training Week in our Resetter Collaborative on Facebook, and now we're doing it for you guys here on YouTube. So hopefully let me know if you've been watching the videos. I've been putting out 5 videos this week, just talking about ketones, talking about how they affect your mental state, and hopefully you guys have been seeing that there's a much bigger picture here to the ketone equation than just burning fat. So let me know. Let's start off with this. The first aha I really wanted you guys to have this week was that you can use fasting to calm your brain. And you can use certain styles of eating to calm your brain, but I think actually fasting works incredibly well for making sure that your brain just slows down and gets you out of an anxious state. Now, if you say that to a new faster, they're going to be like, what? That makes no sense. I stopped eating. I'm anxious because I don't know where my next meal or when my next meal is coming from. And that is the opposite of calm. But any of us who have been working a fasting lifestyle for some time will tell you that there is this moment of switch that happens where you might hit, it might be 10 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm hungry, I need to break my fast, and your day gets busy and you can't get to food. 2 hours go by and the next thing you know, you're not hungry, your brain is calm, you're super focused. If that's ever happened to you, let me know, because I want our community to know that this is called metabolic switching. This is where your brilliant body has figured out that food isn't coming, and so what it's done is it's switched over to an alternative fuel source, and that fuel source is your fat. And the way that you know you are getting access to that fuel source, one is ketones, which so many of us love our little meters so that we can see that ketone go up. But the second way, and the way I use on a daily basis, is lack of hunger, better mental clarity, and a calmer brain. That is when you know your body has switched over. So again, let me know in the comments if you can tell when that's happening. I'll just use myself as an example this week. It's been very busy in my office, and so I've had those moments, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, where I'm thinking, yeah, I think I might break my fast. And then I get busy, and the next thing I know, I'm not hungry, and before I know it, it's 6, 7 o'clock at night, and I'm eating my first meal. So I love that because, in fact, yesterday, I even, with one of my staff, we decided, okay, well, let's go have lunch. And the minute I had lunch at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, even though it was a ketobiotic meal, I was sleepy. So that we want you to start to see this moment where you're switching in and out of this metabolic state. Remember that you have 2 states that your body will get energy from. Your body's going to get energy from the food you eat, or we call that a sugar burner, or it's going to get energy from fat. You can't be in them both at the same time. You're either in one or the other. So when we're fasting, we're working to take ourselves from the food we eat energy state over to this fat burning state. And that, again, is the most, to me, the most freeing place to be. And what I've noticed in this journey with fasting is that I love honoring my body's ability to switch over. So again, you guys are such an incredible community. Give me feedback. Let me know if you notice that, because that's the first step for every beginner faster. Is I want you to feel that switch happening to you. And then start to notice when you feel sleepy when you eat, because that's a whole nother conversation to be had here. So second thing before I open it up for questions that I want to talk about is we are starting our fat burner reset on Monday. It is a holiday fat burner. So I chose to do the fat burner right now before we go into the holiday season. Depending on where you live, your holiday season may look a little different than ours. But let me tell you something that I saw years ago in my Resetter Collaborative. When I first started learning about autophagy fasting, I had some really cool discussions with Naomi Whittle, and I got really excited about teaching autophagy. She was really excited at that time about the science behind autophagy, and so we had this really cool like geek out moment. And I came back to my Resetters. Back in those days, the Resetter group was maybe at 1,000, 2,000 at that time. Now we're cresting close to 40,000 people in our Resetter group. And I said, okay, I'm going to teach you guys all autophagy, and I want to show you how to use it in fast training week. Kind of like what I do now is just coming and teaching you different concepts. So I taught autophagy fasting for the first time. So this was 2-3 years ago. And at the end of the week, all of the Resetters in the group were like, oh my God, I lost so much weight, more than OMAD, more than intermittent fasting. I was able to release weight like never before. And that was really exciting. But that was the first week of December. The second thing that happened that totally blew my mind is we all went into the holidays and we started seeing Resetters in our Resetter Collaborative that were like, I went to Europe, like people who live here in California. I went to Europe, I ate whatever I wanted, I drank whatever I wanted, and I came back and I didn't gain a pound. And then another Resetter would come in and they would be like, yeah, I went on vacation and I totally abandoned all my fasting lifestyle tricks. I abandoned my good eating and I came back and I didn't gain a pound. And before I knew it, it was like Resetter after Resetter after Resetter. And I realized in that moment that if you can get yourself metabolically flexible before the holidays, you literally can have your cake and eat it too. You can be in community with people. You can eat good quality food. You can eat dessert. And you're not going to fall off course because your body has been trained to go in and out of this sugar burner, fat burner state. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, that's what we're going to be doing in the holiday fat burner reset. And all you got to do is put holiday fat burner in the comments, and I have an amazing team that will come in and send you a link. It is a 15-day experience, and it's perfectly positioned right now before American Thanksgiving. And then we've got some really, really exciting news for you guys for January that I can't quite tell you about yet, but just know, my staff keeps saying don't say anything yet, but just know that I've got you covered for the month of January if you want to kick off January in a healthier place. I have pulled together some amazing resources to help you do that. So I'm excited. Stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel and you'll see I'll be giving updates as to what's going on in January. So there you go.
Great.
Okay.
Love it. We have people from all over the world.
Awesome.
As always. So we appreciate our worldwide community.
Yeah. Let us know where you're from. We just love that you guys are everywhere, all over the world. This is fasting together. It's so cool. Yes. Awesome.
So do you want to stay focused on questions around the current fast training week, or do you?
Yeah, let's stay with fast training week because that's topical for people.
You want to talk about how important meditation is in that?
Oh yeah. Okay. So let's talk about a few of the little side things that I pointed out in this fast training week. So, and this really ties into something I learned in wearing a continuous glucose monitor for several weeks. One of the things that we forget is that one of the major predictors of your blood sugar going up is your stress. So if stress goes up, your blood sugar is going to go up. When your blood sugar goes up, ketones go down and you don't feel very calm. So a couple of the tools I gave you guys this week, and if you got the companion guide, you most likely saw the links that were in there, is I talked about the power of things like Wim Hof breathing, or I've been really into Niraj's, the Renegade Pharmacist, his stuff around Soma breathing. I've been doing 20 minutes of it every morning. And meditation would fit into that place too. So if you guys are really working to train yourself to be a fat burner, I want you to remember that, yes, fasting's amazing. Yes, food's amazing. And little hacks like meditation and breathing, like the Wim Hof stuff, even the Wim Hof ice baths is putting you in a parasympathetic state. So if you're finding this week that you're not getting the keto calm, I want to encourage you to really look at bringing in meditation, especially if you're here in America, it's a really stressful week. So you might have to pull all your tool sets together so that you can keep yourself in that fat burning place and you can maximize ketones. So for me, what I do is I have a morning routine. I get up, I do my breathing, I make sure that I read something positive, I think of what my intention is for the day. So before I even get out into the world, I've already set my stress levels in the place that I want them to be. And if the news is bothering you, if social media is bothering you, now's the time to get off of it, because keeping yourself in a calm state, the world needs you to be happy and calm. The world thrives when you're healthy, happy, calm, because happy people will send out more happiness vibration and they'll make other people happy. So something as simple as meditating in the morning could get you into ketosis.
Awesome. Well, this next question is from Depti. I don't know if I pronounced that right.
Okay.
And they're confused about autophagy and ketosis.
Okay, great.
And they want to know, if you're eating ketogenic, can you stay in ketosis?
Okay.
They know that will kick you out of autophagy.
Right.
But they want to know where those two break off.
Right.
And what the ketogenic diet does.
Okay, so let me think. I think the question is around what's the difference between ketosis and autophagy, and then we'll talk a little bit about how you can be in ketosis but kick yourself out of autophagy. So that's something to think about. So ketosis is the sign you are burning energy from fat. And we know that by our blood sugar reader. So our favorite is Keto Mojo. And we like that we can see it. You can also feel it, which is what I talked about earlier. It's that lack of hunger, the mental clarity. So when you're in ketosis, when you're seeing ketones on a reader, what you're seeing is that you're in that fuel source. Autophagy is the intelligence inside our bodies to be able to repair cells. So it's cellular repair, it's detox, it's the cells cleaning itself up. They both are great states to be in, and many times you're in both states at the same time. So, and one thing can happen where you're in ketosis, but you're not in autophagy. So how do you stay in autophagy? Autophagy happens between 17 and 72 hours of fasting, and you've got to keep your protein under 20 grams. That is the classic way to stay in autophagy. There are other ways, HIIT training, red light therapy, the Wim Hof cold baths. Those things are all showing now to have some potential for keeping you in autophagy. But you can be in ketosis and go over 20 grams of protein, and now you're out of autophagy, but you're still in ketosis. Let me know, Depti, if that makes sense, because you can be in both states and you can be out of autophagy and still be in ketosis. Now, here's the thing about ketosis. How do you get into it? And that is through fasting and through food. So I see people stay in ketosis all day just by fasting, and then they break their fast with whatever meal they want. Now they're out at ketosis, and they just got in it by being in fasting or by fasting. So these are different things that are happening in our body as we remove food. But the major predictor of kicking yourself out of autophagy is that protein amount. When you go over 20 grams of protein, boom, you're out. The major predictor of getting into ketosis is keeping your blood sugar down. When your blood sugar goes down, then your body makes ketones. So, hope that helps.
We definitely have some questions about blood sugar.
Okay.
Here's one from Paul. And after 17 hours of fasting, his blood sugar drops, and they feel weak and lightheaded.
Okay.
Would minerals prevent this?
Great question. So Paul wants to know 17 hours of fasting, weakness, and lightheaded.
And he's testing his numbers, which
yeah,
is very
it's
important.
awesome. Yeah. So, okay, so a couple of thoughts. We're going to do a whole fast training week next month on minerals because it is becoming very clear that the world is mineral deficient. So there's a good chance that your blood sugar's dropping, Paul, because of minerals. And one of the things that we know when you're mineral deficient is that as the blood sugar drops, you're going to get heart palpitations. Some people notice their hair falling out. And so they're already mineral deficient. And then they go into a fast and it just reveals the mineral deficiency. So it's possible that that could be going on. The other thing that we're seeing with low blood sugar is the same thing that we're seeing with high blood sugar, and it's mitochondrial dysfunction. The mitochondria control the energy of the cell. They have a dramatic effect on blood sugar, and if your mitochondria are unhealthy, then your blood sugar will drop very quickly. So a good question to ask yourself is what makes your mitochondria unhealthy? And it's fat, it's the wrong foods, it's eating all day long, and it's fats. It's the bad fats. When you're eating I've got a great podcast for you guys next week with Kate Shanahan. She's a family physician, and her passion is getting people to eat the right fats. So we talk about what bad fats do. So head over to the iTunes and you can subscribe to the Resetter podcast and listen to that one because that was a profound interview. When we eat canola oil, cottonseed oil, corn oil, soybean oil, partially hydrogenated oils, we are causing mitochondrial dysfunction. And those mitochondria, when they're in dysfunction, when you come into fasting, they're either going to make it so your blood sugar doesn't move. So you don't get any sense. You're like, I'm fasting and I don't see my blood sugar moving at all. They might make your blood sugar spike, or they can make your blood sugar go down. So the trick, eat the right fats, make sure that you're keeping your sugar level down, and more fasting. And then toxins are another part of that, but that's a whole nother discussion. So.
Great. So this is a question we get a lot. Someone's trying to learn to fast. This is from Melissa.
Okay.
They get frustrated when they're trying to do fasting and they get ready to throw in the towel. And they want to know if we have support groups. Do you want to talk about the different levels
So you're
of support?
fasting. She didn't say how long she's fasting.
No, she said it looks like intermittent fasting maybe.
Okay,
But
new to fasting.
New to fasting.
Okay.
So what support do we offer and what levels can we provide?
Yep. So Melissa's asking about new to fasting, gets really close, trying to fast longer, gets frustrated, wants to throw in the towel. So what we decided to do a couple of years ago is really create a free platform, and hopefully you guys, obviously if you're here, you're benefiting from that. So once a month I always come and teach you a new concept around fasting. So one thing that you might do is you might just join us every month here and just exercise your fasting muscle. The more you do it, the easier it will get. The second thing then we decided to do is create a free Facebook group. And so you could go to our Resetter Collaborative. We just like it in the Facebook groups because they've done a good job of creating groups. So if you need more support around fasting, you could go over to the free group.
You have to answer the question or we won't.
Yeah, you have to answer. We'll give you a little trick. If you don't answer our 3 questions, they're easy. We don't let you in. So make sure you answer the questions. So, okay, but here's the thing. We then found that people still got stuck. So then I said, okay, well, what could I do to create something very low cost that would give you more guidance? And that's what our academy is about. It is a low cost membership group. We have reset guides in there. I'm in there. We do 2 calls a month. We work out together so that you could get more guidance. So if you're participating in the free stuff and you're not getting what you want or you're not getting the results you want, please don't give up because your body was designed to fast. You were designed to do this. So I don't want you to throw in the towel. So make sure then that you come into the Reset Academy or join us in one of the fat burner resets. And we're, again, starting one on Monday. And that's where I've got a whole team. We have 14 people in there monitoring questions and making sure you get the information. Like the guides in there are incredible. And we've got in our resets, we have weekly calls right now. So I'll do 4 4 weekly calls when I do a reset, so you can ask questions to me. So the guidance there is pretty profound. So if you need that, join us over there.
Great. This is, I'm getting a few questions about what do we know about fasting? Why is fasting good? Do you want to talk about maybe the New
What do we
England
know
Journal?
about fasting? Yeah, okay.
Talk about the New England Journal.
Okay.
Medicine
I
article.
actually was just on a call with a bunch of functional medicine coaches yesterday talking about what we know about fasting. So I'll give you the condensed version of that. So the science is pretty compelling. So if you are new to fasting, you're new to my channel, and you're like, okay, I'm just trying to understand, is it worth my efforts to try to learn to fast? I want to tell you absolutely it is. And in fact, those of you that are expert fasters, please tell them your results. Put in the comments the results you've had with fasting, so you can see that there is a result. This is a result-driven experience that people are having with fasting. But what's probably even more exciting than the results is the science. And our favorite study to quote is the New England Journal of Medicine. It is a meta-analysis, meaning that they looked at over 1,500 studies. They looked at mouse studies, they looked at human studies, and they said, okay, is going without food for 13 to 15 hours, is there any science behind this? And what they found is that there was a series of conditions that it is scientifically proven to be beneficial for. And here were some of them. Neurodegenerative diseases, any Alzheimer's or dementia, cognition, mental cognition issues. Obesity and diabetes. Yes, diabetes, type 1 and type 2. Asthma, arthritis. There's a tremendous amount of research coming out about women and hormones and PCOS. There's even some cool research coming out showing that it helps upregulate the parathyroid hormone so that you minimize osteoporosis. So the lists go on and on and on about what scientifically is happening to your body when you fast. So if you're new to fasting, yes, please, you're in the right place. Go watch all the videos that I've done. I'm actually about to do a series of videos on what specifically the New England Journal of Medicine talked about. I'm going to break each condition down so you can see for yourself if I have pre-Alzheimer's or pre-dementia. We just heard about a good friend his wife's got Alzheimer's and she's in her 50s? 60s? Well, still crazy, like 60s, and she's got Alzheimer's. So this is an environmental problem, and there is a fasting solution to that. So I'm about to do a series on that for you, but what I've tried to do here with my videos, if you're new, is take the science, simplify it, and then link the article so that you can either bring your doctor to this article, bring them to my video, so you can have a collaborative conversation. But if you doubt it and you're like, is this really worth it to try to figure out if I like fasting? I want you to look at the science, because the science is compelling. It's crazy. And my husband and I spend close to 20 hours a week just diving through the science, trying to understand what's real, what's not. And fasting's here to stay because it's how the body wants to be treated.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to see. There was a few questions about what were good oils. People wanted to know about palm oil. Since we touched on oils, why don't we just end with that?
Okay, so let's talk about oils. So what we try to do is in all of my videos is try to make little info squares for Instagram. Sometimes I think we do post them on the community page, so you can go back and go to my Instagram, because there is a video, there is little squares over there showing good oils, bad oils. You might have to go down the news feed a little bit to find it, because I think went into this about 30, 60 days ago. But the general rule is that the best way I could say it is bad oils are inflammatory. They create insulin resistance. They clog up the cells. So the bad oils are the canolas, the cottonseeds, the corn, the soybean, the partially hydrogenated, the safflower oils, the sunflower oils. Walk into your market, you're going to see all the bad oils. The good oils is a smaller list. So the main ones that people use and know of are olive oil. Now remember, when you heat olive oil up and like if you put it in a pan and it starts to smoke, it'll turn into a bad oil. So you got to make sure that you keep the temperature down. Those of you in America, don't put olive oil on your turkey and then put for Thanksgiving and then put it in the oven, because that's going to turn it into a bad oil. Avocado oil, some of the nut oils, so not peanut oil, but like walnut oil is good. Some of the seed oils, so sesame seed oil is good. We are huge fans in our academy, in our clinic, of Andreas seed oils. He's got black cumin oil and coriander oil that's been cold pressed. So if you're not familiar with seed oils, just put seed oils in the comments and my staff will send you links of information about seed oils. Red palm oil is good. Other palm oils are not as good, because that was, I think the question was around palm oil.
And maybe not everything is equal, because you want things that are free of contaminants.
Yeah, and you always want to get it organic, and cold pressed is better than some of the others. So, but as far as lists, make sure that you go to my Instagram and look at some of the little squares we created for you guys.
Yes. And you want to talk, well, this is getting off topic. Some people are starting to bring up, well, you don't want to do palm oil because of the deforestation and
the environmental impact. Yeah, I think we should think about the environmental impact of everything. I mean, this is why I want to dive into minerals next month with you guys, because the environment is being destroyed from traditional farming strategies that are making our soils completly void of minerals.
Well, they're not traditional, they're modern.
Okay, I should say, you're right, modern. So we're real big fans of regenerative agriculture. So I agree, we should think about the environmental impact of everything. This is the one thing that unites us all, is that we're living on this planet together. It doesn't matter what country you're in, but we are all on this planet, and when we go to eat, we need to think, and we purchase things, we need to think about the health of the planet. Absolutely. So thank you for pointing that out, whoever did.
Yeah. Well, we have to get you to the next call.
Okay.
So
awesome.
you want to talk about the last day and a half we have?
If you guys want to join us for the Fat Burner Reset, just put Fat Burner Reset or Holiday Reset. My team will know either one of those and send you links. This is a 15-day experience where we'll show you how to use variation, and you'll get it's like drinking from a fire hose. You'll get a lot of education, but it's a really fun and a cool community. So join us over there. Tomorrow will be the last day of the fast training week. Get ready. I've got a series of videos. So I promised you guys the testosterone video and fasting. That's going to come out next Tuesday. We're going to dive into this New England Journal of Medicine study. There's a meta-analysis around women's fasting. So we're going to dive into some PCOS and some osteoporosis. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And then we'll do minerals next month. So, but stay happy, everybody. I hope you guys are all keto calm. And thanks for showing up for the live. I love being on this journey with you. Have an awesome day.